guys, I am back with another dip powder mani. So I have two colors here from CNDesigner Dips, Pick of the Patch and Autumn Breeze. This was sold in a collection on CNDesigner Dips website on Etsy. I bought these last year. I will also be using 𝑻𝒊𝒔𝒉 Low Odor Dip Base Coat and Low Odor Dip Activator. So we're going to go ahead and get into this application. I will apply 2 coats of each color on the nails. So we're going to go ahead and get into this application. I'm just pouring the dip powder in my little disposable dip tray that I forget that I have a lot of times. Looks like a record. And so I am applying this on top of my regular nails. I did extend my nails a little with using builder gel, so that's why you see part of my nail and then part of the nail tip is clear, because now I don't do the best job with extending, because the sides, I end up filing the sides way too much, so the sides look absolutely crazy, but it is what it is. And so I do have on 2 coats of CNDesigner peel off base coat on top of that builder gel application, and these nails were hard to pop off. They lasted for 3 days, and that's just because I forced them off of the nail after filing and applying some oil. And so I'm applying the dip base in a thin layer over the nail, and then I will lay my finger flat in the dip powder. So just hang out with me, and I'm going to go ahead and speed this video up, so hang out with me while I do this application. So I haven't done dip nails. I usually do them on, lately I've been doing them on full coverage nail tips, but you know, I forget that I have nails too. And so plus I had removed my builder gel off of both of my hands, and I have since reapplied it to my left hand. I'm still working on that right hand and don't know what I want to do, if I want to keep them natural versus grow them out with builder gel. And so after that first coat of dip powder color, I am going to do the other nails. I think I only showed one nail on camera, if I'm not mistaken. I recorded this video last week, and today is Saturday, November the 23rd, and this video will be released tomorrow. And so this is kind of like my Thanksgiving set. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone if you celebrate Thanksgiving. I plan on I'll come to my house. My family does. We come to somebody's house, but this year we're doing it at my house, and you know, my cousins and things like that. We do. Everybody brings a dish or 2 or 3, and we just you know, say a prayer, and we eat, and we have fun, and everybody helps clean up, and we go home. So I don't know, everyone has different traditions for Thanksgiving. Some people don't even get together for Thanksgiving, but that's one time of the year that I know I'm going to see my family. Not all of my family, but a good portion of my family. So anyway, so I'm putting 2 coats of color on each nail. Before you go on with that second coat of dip powder, you do want to remove excess dip powder from the nail. You can use a nail brush or a soft bristle toothbrush, and so just remember, when you're doing low odor dip liquids, they do tend to dry slower. However, with the 𝑻𝒊𝒔𝒉 low odor dip liquids, they do dry a little bit faster than the ones that I'm used to. And my favorite dip liquids is odorless dip liquids is by Color My World, which is another shop on Etsy. But these 𝑻𝒊𝒔𝒉 now, they might be giving Color My World Dips a run for their money, but again, I will still use both of them because I like them. And 𝑻𝒊𝒉 dip base is low odor dip base is very thin. It applies really thin to the nail. Now these particular nails, this application was a little thick because my nails were already thick, because I had to really build them out because I extended the nails. And I'm not sure what I got in my dip powder, but I just took my little salt spoon and scooped that right on out of there. And so with the second coat, you want to make sure that you wipe your base brush off on a lint-free paper towel before you place it back into the bottle, because you don't want to contaminate your dip base, because then it becomes kind of stringy and ooey and unusable. Pretty much, you just ruined the whole bottle. And the 𝑻𝒊𝒉 dip liquids can be found on Amazon, low odor dip liquids. I do like them. So if I'm using low odor dip liquids, I still wear a simple face mask, just because that dip powder can fly up, especially when you're doing filing and buffing and things like that. And if it has like shimmer in it, it will fly all up in the air, because the orange color actually has like gold little specks in it. It was really pretty. perfect fall color, perfect fall color. So now I'm going in with the chunky glitter. Whenever I do a chunky glitter dip application, I will sprinkle over or pour over the first coat, and then I use my finger or whatever I have, and I kind of move the glitter off of the free edge and the sidewalls of the nail, and I want all of that glitter to be on the actual nail. I don't want anything sticking out. And so I'm pressing that flat on my nails. And what I noticed with the low odor dip liquids and this particular chunky glitter, it took a minute to dry. And I guess because it's more glitter in it probably than dip powder, I'm assuming. The glitter got in my brush, but again, it wasn't dry, and it's okay. And so after I get that first coat and get it cleaned up to the best of my ability, you see me kind of moving that around on the nail, trying to press it as flat as possible. I brush off excess, and then I'm going to go in with the dip base and do a second coat. The second coat, I'm going to lay my finger flat. That's where the color really comes together. And so what I'm using to clean up the cuticle area is actually, this is my first tool that I got. It's actually a water marbling tool that works. You can do a toothpick, you can do an orange wood stick, but and a lot of companies have cuticle cleanup tools now, and I have some from different companies that I use as well. But whatever works, you can use your fingernail to go around that cuticle area and clean that up. So on my pinky nail, I call myself doing a little ombre, but y'all, I missed the right, no, that's the left side of my pinky. When I was looking at my nails after I finished, I was like, wait a minute, Tish, you missed the whole freaking side of your nail. And it's okay, it is what it is. I popped them off, like I said, on the third day. But if I was to keep these on, I would have to file that off and or pop it off and redo it. But I'm just moving the glitter around. You can pick up additional pieces just to kind of fill in the gaps, just for that little ombre. I didn't really need to put an ombre on this nail, but I did anyway, and it's okay. So of course, after I get all of the nails covered in, no, I'm going in with my second coat now. I'm tripping. So I'm going in with the second coat of glitter, repeating that process. Now, anytime you use glitter dip powder, or even maybe sometimes a dip powder with shimmer in it, you do want to encapsulate the nails in a clear dip powder, and that's just to protect the glitter from turning colors during the filing and buffing process. If you don't clear coat that glitter, you're going to have silver glitter. So whatever color that glitter is, it will no longer exist. So again, I'm going in with that second coat, repeating that process, cleaning up any excess glitter that's not on the actual nail. I don't want anything hanging here. And so cleaning it up, waiting for it to dry. I then brush off excess, and I do believe I clear encapsulate off camera. And so any of the nails with glitter, so that pinky nail, the ring finger, and the index finger, I do encapsulate and clear off camera. And I can't remember which clear I used. I couldn't remember if I used CNDesigner Dips clear, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I did this video last week, and I'm just not doing my voice over a few days, actually almost a week later. And so I did use CNDesigner Dips Ultra Clear, and I put that on all three nails. I'm going in with this toothbrush, and I'm just brushing off excess. You can use a nail brush, like the nail brush with bristles, not the brush bristles, but the stiff bristles like a toothbrush, to brush off excess clear from the nail. Because clear, if you don't brush off enough, it can be really gritty. And so I spilled that clear, and so I'm just going in with my nail desk vacuum and just cleaning that up. Get you one. I've been saying this for a long time. If you don't have one, get you one. It's like the best thing ever. Even if you don't do nails, you can use it on your if you work in an office setting, you can use it on your office desk. And so I'm going in with Azure Beauty's low odor activator, and I am applying a generous amount to all nails. After that, I wait probably about roughly 5 minutes, and then I do complete my filing and buffing off camera. So with these nails, we're going to do a little extra, and we're going to add some nail stamping. So we will be back, or I will be back soon. So here are the nails after filing and buffing. And so I have a fall themed stamping plate from 𝒊𝒔𝒉. It's Hello Fall and Pumpkin Spice. And I've already cleaned the plate off with acetone. So I'm going to use a little pumpkin, and I'm using two colors here from 𝒊𝒔𝒉, Spiced Pumpkin, and this one does not have a label. It fell off. I don't know what happened to it, but it's kind of like a copper or metallic brown. And I will use this kind of shimmery brown from Clear Jelly Stamper. I am an affiliate of both, and so I will have the discount code linked in the description box below. And if you're one of those individuals that have used my 𝒊𝒔𝒉 or Clear Jelly Stamper discount code, I thank you, and I really appreciate you. Because you know, this is not a free hobby. So I purchased most of my items now, most of them. And so I'm just going in with the body of the pumpkin in that spiced orange color, stamping that on the nail, and then I'm going to go in with the color from Clear Jelly Stamper and do the little stem of the pumpkin using the scraper card to remove excess polish from the stamper head before I place it on the nail. And I'm just trying to get that there on the to the best of my ability, And so I didn't want to outline that pumpkin in black. I thought the brown was a good complementary color, and I think it blended because of the glitter on my nails as well. So I'm just going to stamp that as the outline. I've used this plate before and used that pumpkin. This is kind of like my favorite pumpkin image. I do have other fall themed plates. I just did not pull them out to use them, which is a shame because I have a lot of different stamping plates. Actually, I have quite an extensive collection. And so now I'm going in with the phrase "Give Thanks" in that metallic or brown, and stamping that on the nail as well. And then there's kind of like some little vines. I'm going to use that. I don't know if I stamped it. I can't remember if I stamped it on my thumbnail or stamped it on another nail. And so I thought that was kind of cute. And so with the middle finger, I am going to stamp "Give Thanks." There's another image on there that says "Give Thanks," but there's a little pumpkin, another layering image on this plate. And so I'm going in with that spice orange, stamping that little small T90, like my grandma used to say, T90. She didn't say tiny, she said T90 pumpkin, and stamping that. Now, one thing I did mess up with this middle finger, the little outline of that, I stamped it in spiced orange, and then I removed excess, and I'm going to color that in. So I'm going to do a little bit of reverse stamping, but by the time I put it back on the nail, or when I put it on the nail, not back on the nail, but when I put it on the nail, stamped it, it was not in the middle of my nail. And I was like, I'm not doing this over. Absolutely not. I'm not doing it over. So I re-stamped that image because the first time it picked up kind of wonky. And so I'm being very careful about removing excess image. And I tried to go in with the little sticky pad. I don't know what I was thinking about. I used the lint roller instead, just to get that little bit off of the stamper. It's kind of hard to see on camera because that color picks up really, really light. And so I'm using that kind of metallic green from Clear Jelly Stamper and a small nail detail brush. I think this is from 𝒊𝒔𝒉 as well. Came in a subscription box. I've been getting their subscription boxes since 2021. I need to do more nail stamping videos. And I'm just coloring in the leaves of that image. And again, it's small. It's really hard to see in really, really small. And so once I get that colored in, I'm going to let that dry. It didn't take long because it's not a whole lot of polish on the stamper head. And while I'm doing stamping, listen, I first started stamping when they had a company called Konad, Konad. And y'all, it was the hardest thing or stamper to use because it wasn't clear. And so when you try to put an image on your nail, it always came out either it was in the wrong spot or it was crooked. Even if you laid your, finger on there, it was just awful. It was awful. But I was so happy when I found out that companies were making clear stampers. And so what I did was I went in with smudge-free top coat, and I applied it just to the pumpkin, small area on the nail. Because if you put sticky base coat on top of an image that's on your nail, it's going to smear. It is going to smear. And so once that smudge-free top coat dried, I went in with sticky base coat, and I'm going to try and line that image up to the best of my ability. So once I placed it down, I realized that it was kind of like not in the center of my nail. And I was like, oh. But we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it because I was not going through that process again. I could have fixed it off camera, but I didn't. Flaws and all, I did not. And so I'm going in with the phrase again, "Give Thanks." I have it on my thumbnail. This is a different script. and I'm putting that on the middle finger, and then I'm going to outline that. There's some like little vines on that plate as well, so I'm going in with the green, and I'm going to apply one vine to the one side of the nail and the other to the other side. And so once I get that on the nail, I let that dry for maybe like a minute, because stamping polish doesn't take long to dry at all, because I guess because of what it is and the thickness or the viscosity of it. And so once I get that and let it dry, as I mentioned, I'm going to go in with 𝒉, CNNI, Canny or 𝒉's 𝑻𝒊𝒔𝒉 no wipe gel top coat that requires curing in an LED lamp. And so I'm applying a thin coat of that to all nails, and then I'm going to cure, and then I will be back. After I cure for 60 seconds, coming up is the finished look. The nails were nice and shiny, and I do point out a bad filing error on my thumbnail. So look how shiny those is. I think I look good in orange and yellow. That's just me in hot pinks for whatever reason. But anyway, please like this video if you found value. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and subscribe to my channel. It is still free 99 in 2024. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time, and happy Thanksgiving to you.